Hello my dears, it is time to begin the Christmas touring of my house. I have one room done. We're going to look at that today, and then I'm going to share the whole rest of the house with you next week. But I need to work on the Thanksgiving dinner here in just a moment. So I just am focusing on the one room today, but it'll give you a little sample of what's to come. I have two really big announcements that I want to share with you before I dive into the room decorations. The first one is She Holds Dearly hit 100,000 subscribers last week. I just can't thank you enough for that. I can't even tell you what a dream come true that is. I guess YouTube gives me a special plaque, and so I will be sharing that with you when it arrives. But 100,000 is a huge milestone, and it's because of you, and it's because you keep coming back and you keep encouraging me to make more, and you appreciate things like my front porch and all the little things I'm finding and making. And I'm so grateful that our paths have crossed and that you're happy and excited about the same things that I am. So as a thank you giveaway, I want to pull in my friend Mariah Price. She's in my design group and she's a personal friend of mine. Mariah works with architects and does their drawings for them. So when people do remodeling, she can show up and measure everything and then draw blueprints and do 3D renderings, so people can actually, look virtually online at what their space is going to look like and change things around and add wallpaper and different molding and things like that. Mariah's abilities are just really key for a really good understanding of what you're going to get when you're working on a space. Her company is called Revision Design Service. And she and I are going to be offering a makeover to someone on my channel. What we're going to do is have you to follow She Holds Dearly, and you have to leave me a comment on today's video. Then I'm going to give you a link in the description so that you can apply. We're going to take applications. And I want to see the space you're working on, what your dreams are, what you want to keep and what you want to change. And you're going to apply, and Mariah and I are going to go through all of the applications and choose a winner and then announce the winner at Christmas. And then we're going to meet with you online, and if you're in Washington or Georgia, there's a chance that she's in Georgia, I'm in Washington. So there's a chance that we actually would come to your space and work on it, and then do a final video in January with the designs, and potentially even the room could be finished if you want to follow through on the designs and get it done, and then we can share that as well. But I'm really excited about this giveaway. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time, to do a really great makeover for somebody's space. So that is number one. Number two, the Bespoke Design Retreat has been scheduled for 2024. It's going to be September 16th through the 19th. I released the tickets just a couple days ago, and they're almost half gone already. The Mayhurst house, which is where we are holding the retreat at, there's rooms there, and they were booked within hours. And now we have other houses that are part of the collaboration, and so we're going to recommend a couple other beautiful houses that are just nearby for staying the night in, and then the retreat is held at the Mayhurst estate in Orange, Virginia. So if you want a ticket, they are available, number one. And the second thing I want you to know is that we have special Christmas pricing going on right now. So if you want to have that as one of your Christmas gifts, we have the pricing broken down into 8 chunks, so you can work on it over the year. So that's available as well. I'll put a link in the description below. Okay, let's take a look at this room. As we go, it's going to be somewhat of an I Spy game. So I'm going to share the things that we've been making in the Handmade Holidays group. I have an email group. If you're in it, you know what I'm talking about. We've been making things secretly, quietly over the last few weeks, getting ready for our Christmas decorations to be done on time and handmade. So you're going to see a lot of those items. I'll be pointing those out, and also items that I thrifted that you may have seen in my last video, which was the things that I've been collecting all year, thrifting and antiquing. So there's a lot of fun things to see that you may already know about, and now you get to see them on display. And I will be describing sort of the roadblocks that I ran into in this room and the solutions that I came up with and why I came up with them, because I want you to learn interior design as we go too. I decided to just work on the bed and work on the mantle and add a tree in our room. I think that's enough, and it's still magical and cozy, so you don't have to do every square inch in your house. You start to get overwhelmed. Just pick a couple key spots that you're gonna spruce up. Okay, here we go. I had initially thought that I would do a William Morris inspired room in here. And so I got some wrapping paper, I got some fabric, and I got these beautiful stockings off of Etsy. I decided that this yellow and green one was a little bit much, and so I'm gonna use this probably actually in my hallway. So be looking for that in the future. Really beautiful detailing, but it was just too many colors. So I decided to just simplify it and do, blues and touches of this deep gold in this room. And then I always start with the big pieces. So that would have been the rocker, the tree, and then my dress form. I decided to put my mom's wedding dress on the dress form, and then it's sitting on a stool. So I got those three put in place, decided I wanted the lights on the tree, and then there was so much green with the tree and the little dresser that I decided against a garland on the dress form and on the mantle. It was just too much green. So I dialed it way back, and I'm just doing this simple ribbon idea here for my garland. I have the wide satin green for my base, and then I'm adding this beautiful velvet navy over the top. And then you may remember we made this jingle bell garland in the Handmade Holidays group. We just hot glued jingle bells on a ribbon. So this is where it's showing up. I'm using it as the third layer in my garland. And I just used Scotch tape, and I'm tucking in some faux cedar to kind of soften these candlestick holders. And these candles, oh my gosh, told you sooner, but they are battery operated off Amazon. They're wonderful. So I have a thrifted fur stocking, these little goat bells that I made, and my William Morris stocking. I had this fa la 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 garland that was actually red, and I spray painted it. That's all I'm going to add to the dress here. And then these postcards I found on Etsy. I love them, and I've used them for a couple years to, the front side or the back side. I'm just going to pen them with these T-pins onto my bulletin board. And that is all we're going to do for the bulletin board. It doesn't take much, and I love that the stamps are red and green. This is a champagne bucket that I thrifted, and this silver tree, tinsel tree, is from Target. It's $10 this year. And then that's all I need to do on the top of this little dresser. We made these little ballerinas, cut them out of folded paper in my Handmade Holidays group. And then we also painted some mercury glass ornaments and distressed them while they were still wet. We just wiped off a little bit of paint on the raised edges. I'm finding that with a clear wax, it really finishes off the look. So I recommend doing that. This is the two that I ended with. It's a light blue and then the navy blue. I really like how they turned out. And I just need to add some velvet ribbon. So I'm cutting about maybe a foot of velvet ribbon and just threading them through. This is a really popular look right now for hanging ornaments, and you just tie it one time and let the tails hang down. I really love how they turned out. I left a few just plain for the mercury glass look. These are woodland animal, very William Morris inspired ornaments. I just bought plastic little animals on Amazon and spray painted them gold, and the velvet ribbons are hot glued on. I think these will be perfect. I loved using my wrapping paper with the velvet ribbons. It's just a little touch of William Morris, and I will have more of them throughout the house. This is actually the fabric. I ended up not making a pillow with the fabric, just use it for wrapping paper. And if you don't know who William Morris is, he is a famous interior designer, architect that really changed the face of design when he came on the scene. And his patterns are being really revived, and especially wallpapers, but they're really recognizable all in a lot of different places. Definitely fabrics and wallpapers, artwork. Adding some greenery to the chandelier, which is pretty standard for me. I don't even wire it. I just keep adding it until it just kind of all holds together, builds on top of each other. And I always really rethink my bedding each season and think about just the temperature needs at the time and the colors I want to use. So I'm going to bring in, well, mostly gold and white and green. I have a lot of blues in the rugs, so I'm going to let them handle the blues as far as matching what's going on the mantle. So the bedding is really subdued. I think the best part of this design this season is this fur throw that I thought looked good with the fur stocking going on the mantle, and then bringing in some plaid green in this throw blanket and a lumbar that I made a couple years ago with thrifted fabric. I like all the greens going on over here. Then we'll put the vintage Santa. I got this Santa from Cottonwood Shanty. And this is a print. It really went off of sort of the Christmas ball theme that I wanted to have touches of in this space. The print is from The Lost Gallery from Krista Meeker. She's on Etsy. And then I'm gonna just reuse this platter from actually my fall decorating, another thrifted champagne bucket, and another tinsel tree from Target. And then these are old stockings that I've had for many years. I actually want to encourage you to use stockings more than you need, even just use them as a soft decoration. I think that's a great idea. And then here's our finished look. I thrifted that poinsettia and the basket. It's a lot of thrifted pieces here. And I printed off this art piece. It says a Christmas ball. And I had just found this wreath frame, which I shared in the previous video. The stocking holder was thrifted. Those bells are made from toilet paper rolls that I glued and spray painted green. Oh, I really love how it all turned out. You would never know how homemade and thrifted this whole look is, but I love that you can pull that off. I want people to know that they can get really beautiful, professional looking decorations if they understand how to pull things together. I hope that this actually is really encouraging to you, no matter where you're at financially. You know, it can go up and down in life, and it's good to know that you can still really enjoy your house and still make it special. All right, thank you so much for watching. And again, thank you for the 100,000 subscriber mark. I'm so excited. And I just remember the early days when I was working so hard and struggling so much more. And I mean, it took me a year to get to 1,000 followers. And I thought, I'm gonna be 150 years old by the time I ever get to 100,000. But some encouragement to you influencers out there or small business owners, it doesn't work like addition, it works like multiplication, and even exponential growth can happen. So if it takes you a year to get to 1,000, it doesn't mean it's gonna take you 20 years to get to 20,000. It starts to snowball. And so that is what I've seen. I think we've been going for 3, maybe 4 years on YouTube. And I'm just really grateful to have found my little group that enjoys the same things I do and wants to talk about it and share our ideas. So be sure to apply if you want to get into my giveaway and I can work on your space with Mariah price. And also if you want to get the Christmas pricing on the bespoke design retreat tickets, go ahead and do that as well. Thank you so much, you guys. I will see you next week and we're going to do the full home tour. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.